Hey good looking, I'm Vixen, and welcome back, or welcome for the first time. In the last episode, this happened. Let the epic story continue. The sun, its brilliant and majestic brilliance sweeps across the land, lighting it into incandescent glory. It's the first day of the new year. Looks like I'm still alive to enjoy it. It's not raining. The weather is different. That's interesting. It's a little cold out, but it's calm and the sun is warm. I think I'll go visit the shrine. There are a lot of birds here already. Must be nice to have warm winter plumage. Maybe I should borrow some from somebody. I think I'll buy an amulet and go home. Jodhpur? You look so beautiful, Ryota. Happy New Year! Here's to many happy returns, right? What are you doing, Ryota? Exactly what it looks like. I'm working here today and tomorrow. Oh, it looks good on you. Why are all your jobs cross-dressing ones? You came here to buy an amulet, right? Which would you like? I'd like one for fulfillment and conquest. Well, since I chose art for the Tanabata, I'm gonna go for art again. Here you go. Thanks, Ryota. Are you here all day today? Yep, the first day is always busy. Oh, well, I was gonna ask if you wanted to get lunch together, but sorry, Jodhpur, maybe some other time. Since you're here, why not go get a fortune? They're next to the main building over there. Okay, thanks. See you, Ryota. Mr. Nanaki, Happy New Year! Oh, hello, Macintosh. Happy New Year. Did you get a fortune, sir? Yes, unfortunately, I seem to have drawn the chicken of ill omen. Why don't you take one? I will! What should I take? This one. The chicken of ill omen. Silky blessing! I'm guessing that's good. Good. You got a better one than I did. I think this will be a good year for you, Macintosh. Thank you, sir. I think a silky is a kind of chicken. Wait, isn't that Sakuya? Sakuya? Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? I hadn't thought you were the type. I'm here to observe. I may one day be ruling this country, so there's no harm in familiarizing myself with the customs of the masses. That aside, I had heard the rumors, but this place is a battlefield. Some lunatic almost killed me throwing coins earlier. Oh, right. You don't get out too often. Those are offerings. Yes, I am aware. The custom was created by a secret policeman during the Edo period, I believe. I never knew. I understand that the coins thrown by this policeman also inspire the shuriken later used by ninja all across the country. To begin the year by testing each other's reflexes in deadly monetary skirmishes, Japan truly is a brutal country. He gazes with mixed admiration and fear at the donations falling into the shrine box. Correcting him would be a pain, so I think I'll leave it at that. I feel like I'm interacting with him a lot more. Also, I'm not dead. Happy New Year, everyone. Well, when the text is different, I'll see ya. Okay. Okay, guys, I bought some random beans. I don't even remember which one I got, but I'm about to give them to him. Sakuya! I am busy. May I ask you not to waste too much of my time? This will only take a minute. I have something for you. Here. What are these? It's a pricey blend of beans. I know you like expensive things. Oh yeah, I got the racing ones because they were expensive. That is not what I meant. Why are you giving me beans? It's the Gumentines. And what is that? What planet are you from anyway? It's a holiday where girls are supposed to give beans to the boys they like. What? Don't look so disturbed. Jeez, I gave you those. Will you accept them, Sakuya? These beans seem somewhat cheap for their illustrious recipient, but since you ask it, I will not refuse them. Really? Yay! What did you mean by like? Huh? I am asking you what you meant by the boys they like. Exactly what I said. No matter what I'm doing or where I am, your beautiful plumage always comes to mind, Sakuya. I want it in my hair. Anyway, yeah. I hope we can continue to get along. Indeed. He glances at the beans, and then at me, and then wordlessly leaves. I'm glad he liked them. He did like them, right? Meh. It's cold. Feels even colder than it was around New Year's. Maybe the wind's stronger. I'm starting to think I should build a wall, or maybe dig myself a new bedroom. With this kind of weather, some birds are even collapsing in the street. Hey, wait. Isn't that one Sakuya? Sakuya, what's wrong? Don't ask for the details. Just carry me to your miserable abode, I beg of you. Wandering alone and collapsing in the street at this time of night doesn't seem like customary practice for an aristocrat. What's happened, Sakuya? Don't tell me your family has fallen from high society. The shark. What happened? I shall not say. What were you doing wandering around in the wilderness then? I was not wandering. I was on my way here. Be honored. Oh, so this isn't a coincidence after all. Did you want something from me then? No, don't flatter yourself. Should we call your family or something? No. He looks really angry. Listen, don't you dare call my house. Have you run away? Sakuya, did you run away from home? That sounds bad. No, I simply left of my own volition. Isn't that the same thing? Yep. What happened, Sakuya? Macintosh. Do you remember when we talked in the music room at school last fall? I accidentally skipped the dialogue in that, guys. Oh dear. I will probably freeze frame the hopefully I can do that. I will probably freeze frame the text so that you can at least read it. But yeah, I skipped it. Sorry. I assumed that for important things it wouldn't skip. Yes, what about it? Do you remember what I asked you then? No, I didn't hear. You asked me what... Oh, you asked me what I liked, and I said udon. You asked me what I loved. That's right, and you gave a simple, honest answer right away. And that made me jealous of udon. Did I mishear? That's the last thing I expected from him, of all people. Pigeons. I don't understand, Sakuya. Why? I'm one of the few of the pure bloodline. I am ranked higher than any of my siblings. I've been slated to become the next family head since birth. There is no reason I shouldn't be. But you don't want to take your father's place. How did you know that? It's obvious. It's written all over your face. I love music, but my father does not approve. When I was young, I owned a number of instruments, but he had them all thrown away. What a dickbag. Art is not our realm. The joy of creation is the domain of peasants. Our role is to be patrons and promoters of the arts we admire, not to be artists ourselves. A noble who sows his own wheat is a fool. That's not true. I think anyone who can play music should be encouraged, no matter who their parents are. Hell, even if you can't play music, you should be encouraged, as long as you enjoy it. That is because you think with a peasant's values. My world is different from yours. I'm not talking about what peasants think, I'm talking about what I think. What about you, Sakuya? What do you think? What do I think? You speak in riddles. I carry the name of Lebel. To play it, applying my own standards and ideas to the world would be a disgrace. But didn't you just say you left the mansion of your own accord? Isn't that applying your own idea to the world? You've contradicted yourself. What do you want to do in life, Sakuya? I must succeed my father as the next family head. No, jeez, that's not what I meant. What if you could forget about the Lebel family and do anything in the world? What would you do then? Forget about the Lebel family? What mockery is this? We're speaking hypothetically, dummy. If I could do anything in the world, I would continue studying music. I would like to see how far I could go as a musician. He sounds uncharacteristically modest. I was half expecting him to give me some rambling speech about how he would unite the world and become king or something. You love music, don't you? If I could hear you play the piano again, I would be very happy, Sakuya. I think you've answered your own question. Answered my own question? Don't be ridiculous. This is a mere fantasy. It has no connection to reality. Have you told your father that you want to continue studying music? Don't be ridiculous. How can I lower myself so? So you haven't even asked him about it? You wouldn't be lowering yourself, Sakuya. Are you ashamed to love music? You should ask him. It's worth a try, right? Ugh. Perhaps you are right. I suppose I never would have thought of that if I hadn't talked to you. You were confused about what you wanted, Sakuya. I just gave you a little push. Macintosh, kiss me in the moonlight. Yes? I'm going to speak with him when I return. If he refuses, would you carry my fallen body to safety one more time? So dramatic. Are you planning to run away for real next time? If it comes to that. I will follow you anywhere you need to go, Sakuya. You will always have a safe place here, okay? I shall return to you. Thank you, Macintosh. So he set out across the wilderness once more. I don't know if his father will accept him, or if he really will run away, but I know he will come back to me, and I pray that our future will be a happy one. That was abrupt. What? What? Into the night. Look at its scarf. Such a dapper pigeon. Ending number 2. Into the night. Okay. Whew. Okay, guys. So, it's been a while since I last recorded this. And basically, I was really tired the last time I played it. And I was going to come back and finish the rest of it, and then I decided, you know what, I don't really want to do that. Mainly because it's very repetitive if you do that. So I'm going to give my review now, and just leading on from that point, basically what I expected from this game was a parody of dating sims. I'm not the biggest fan of dating sims in general, just because I find that they are pretty repetitive and they're very formulaic. But I kind of expected this to be a jokey kind of version, because it's pigeons, and I wasn't really expecting that to be played straight, but it was in this game. And I think that was a mistake, to be honest. I think this could have been much better as a parody. As it is pretty much a formulaic dating sim. If you replace the pigeons with people, it would pretty much be your basic, by the book dating sim. And most dating sims nowadays have some kind of twist to them in an attempt to make them more interesting, like time travel or strange characters. I guess the twist to this one is that they're pigeons, but that's not really enough. That doesn't really make it interesting in and of itself. And it also means that I'm not really sure who the demographic is for this game. I kind of assumed that because it was pigeons, it was towards people who don't really play dating sims and aren't really into them, because they're pigeons. It would be ridiculous for it to be played straight like it is. And to be honest, if you're playing a dating sim straight, there are many other options you're going to go for before you go for one with pigeons. Let's be honest here. So I'm not really sure who this game is aimed at. Having said that, I did enjoy it, not like I thought I would, and not as much as I thought I would. I thought it would be funnier, but it's actually pretty lackluster when you look at the game itself. Like, ignore the fact that they are pigeons, and this is a pigeon school, and for some reason you're not a pigeon. This is pretty much the bare bones that you would need to be able to call this a game. It's not very interesting. Like, the day-to-day activities are just kind of really lacking. You have like 3 different classes you can choose to go between, and you don't really study anything. You literally just go from one environment to another. And because the characters are they're very much stock characters of dating sims. They're characters you've seen a million times, which makes them pretty uninteresting, to be honest, in my opinion. I'd say the only one who was kind of different was Okasan, just because he was the most pigeon-like. He was kind of what I was expecting, to be honest. And when I first played this, I had originally intended to play through all the endings, but that would be so uninteresting, not just for me to play, but for you to watch, purely because when I did the last playthrough that I did with the Sakuya, I'm not sure how much of that is actually going to make it into the LP, just because it's all very, very repetitive, and there's little bits here and there that are different, and little bits of dialogue that are different, but honestly, I don't know if I would just completely cut that out, because it's not that it was uninteresting, it's just that out of context, it won't make a huge amount of sense if I just jump from one area of dialogue to another. And I was debating showing just the endings, but the endings are like a minute long, and it's not really a lot of payoff for the amount of time you put into it. And the decisions that you make to get those character endings are so specific that by the point I was doing Sakuya, I was using a guide just because I couldn't be bothered to try and get all the different endings and fail again. Because when I first originally decided to play this game, as you guys know, I did not want to aim for a specific character. I thought it would be more fun to kind of have a little bit of a mystery to it and just kind of see what happened. But apparently you can't do that because you die. Didn't even know that was an option. But some hawk ninjas come and take you out because apparently you haven't made enough connections with the pigeons, despite the fact that your best friend is a pigeon. Is that not... Why does it have to be a love connection? I don't understand this game. Yeah, that was what I originally intended to do. And then The second playthrough I enjoyed, I suppose, just because it's always fun just to play through once. It's when you start playing through it multiple times to get all the endings that it gets quite dull. If I had known that I wasn't going to end up playing them all, I probably would have chosen to do my second playthrough after Ryota, trying to end up with Okasan instead of Sakuya, just because he was much more fun and interesting a character. Also, Sakuya, the ending that I got is not the true end, but you have to get that end before you get the true end. It's all very complicated and tedious, and I just couldn't be bothered to do it, to be honest. I don't think it was worth the time that I would have put into it. And I do think that means that you miss out a lot. I mean, clearly there's a lot going on in the background that I didn't get to because I didn't play those endings. Like, there's something going on with the Quail Doctor guy. There's all these little minor characters that I assume play larger roles in different playthroughs. And while the completionist part of myself really wants to know and refuses to look up a guide to show me what happens, I can't be bothered. I think if I was going to do that, it would be occasionally I might come back to this game and play through one character, and then that would be like an hour and a half or something of my time, and that would be fine, and I would be happy to do that, but I don't really want to go through them all right now, and I think this is one of those games where you play it once and then don't really pick it up again for like a year, or even more, and I think part of that is the fact that it's not as funny as you expect it to be based on looking at this screen here. It looks like it would be much more amusing and fun and kind of energetic than it actually was. And I don't know, I don't know why they're pigeons. And something else that confused me, and this is completely off the point and has nothing to do really with the game, but Ryota is supposed to be your childhood friend, but they make it very clear that the pigeons in this game have normal pigeon lives, as in the length of their lifespan. Yet you are human, so how could you have spent your childhood together? Because he's, in high school? That means he's like a 6-month-old pigeon, right? How is that possible? We must be like 16 or something. I don't understand. The only possible thing is we could have gone through his childhood, which would make this much creepier, really, when you think about it. Although, when you think about it, really, human and a pigeon is pretty... Are they human-sized pigeons, or are they pigeon-sized pigeons? I kind of really want to know. I guess they must be human-sized pigeons, because the school is human-sized, and if we can fit in like the desks and the tables and chairs and stuff, that must be because they were built to hold pigeons. Really, really large pigeons and a friggin' massive quail. Anyway, that's completely off the point. Basically, I enjoyed this game as like kind of non-game in a way, where you don't really think about it, you don't put really much effort into it at all, and you don't really pay attention to the game. That sounds terrible. But it's one of those games where you don't really have to think, and that's not really kind of my style of game. I like to be immersed in it. I like to completely theorize and have lots of thoughts about what the hell's going on. But I don't know, this is one of those games where it's a Sunday afternoon, you don't have a lot of time to play a game, and you just kind of want to feel like you're playing a game without really playing a game. That's kind of what this game is to me. That's kind of how I feel it is. And there's not really much I can say. It's a dating sim where the characters are pigeons. It is kind of one of the blandest dating sims in terms of the activities that actually happen within the game. It's quite tedious in a way. The fact that you turn up to school, then you have 3 different classes you can choose between, which doesn't make any difference whatsoever because you don't actually see any of the classes. And there's like, the teacher complains if you don't do well on your math test, but then it makes no difference whether you're good at maths or not because it never comes into play. Maybe it does, and I just didn't play a route that it was actually helpful for. But what's the point in me going to these classes, and if they make no difference, what's the point in upping my stats if it just has no meaning at all? And I kind of wish we could actually have more immersion in the classes. So like if you choose music class, you get to play a little mini game or something. I think that would be fun. And then like the level that your stats upgraded is dependent on how well you did on the mini game. That would be more enjoyable than just clicking a button and then it's like +5 charisma. Yay! And like I said, it is pretty much you go to school every day, you talk to some stock characters, you go home, rinse, repeat, all that stuff. So it is a bit tedious. I've said that too many times now. But that is kind of my overall opinion of it, is just, it's a dating sim with pigeons. It's played straight. It's not really played at all for laughs. And I guess there's a couple moments that have meaningful, kind of deeper conversations. But it's kind of lost in the void of banality that is the rest of the game, which is a little bit sad to say, really. But they do have some meaningful moments in there. I did find that by the time I got to doing the Sakuya playthrough, I was kind of just skipping through the dialogue at that point. So I did miss a couple of things there. And also because I knew that it wasn't the true ending, I wasn't really paying attention. I think that's another problem. But yeah, overall, I'd probably give this game, I kind of want to mark it up just because I don't really like dating sims, and I don't want to mark it down because it is a dating sim. Just because it's my own opinion on the fact that I don't find this very interesting. So I think I'm going to give it a C. It's kind of just in between. I mean, in terms of dating sims, there are more interesting ones out there, let's be honest. Some people get very creative with those. So yeah, I think I'd give it an all-round C, where maybe it's a game that you'll pick up on sale and play once and then you'll forget about it for the rest of your life. That's the kind of game that this is. But yeah, that's basically my opinion on Hatoful Boyfriend, which I never fully understood the name. I don't know if it's some kind of play on hateful or whether I'm missing something very obvious and overthinking it completely. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, dating sim about pigeons. If you're into that kind of thing, go for it. What have you got to lose except some of your precious, precious time and money? We all have those to spare, right? But yeah. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this strange little LP that I'm not really sure what it's going to look like by the time I finish editing it, but hopefully you'll get some enjoyment out of it. I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon, evening, morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. I will see you all in the future. TTFN and cheerio!